We have Coach Miles here as we go to 4-0 on the season at home. Coach will have a quick statement, then feel free to ask questions. Coach?
Fun night for Spartan basketball. Always love competing against, guys I know and respect like Paul Sather in the University of North Dakota, which was a formal bitter rival when I was the North Dakota State coach. So it was important. I think I told our guys it was personal for me, this game was. And I thought we came out pretty good right away, and then we struggled toward the end of the first half. And credit to North Dakota State, they dug themselves out of, or North Dakota, they dug themselves out of a hole. And we didn't have a great answer for Michael Suker, their four-man, and I thought we did a better job adjusting in the second half. And it really started from the first three defensive possessions the second half. We got critical stops, and that led into good offense.
Questions for Coach?
Yeah, Tim, coming out of the second half, I don't recall you guys coming out with three guards like that with Amari with three guards, basically.
Yeah.
It seemed like that was obviously the spark with the 10-0 or the 9-0 run.
Yeah.
Can you talk about it a little bit and that you stuck with that about 5-6 minutes longer than any of the lineups?
Yeah, you're right. It was just kind of a gut feeling coming out of halftime. I think that when it comes to substitution, oftentimes I defer to ball handling, the ability to pass, shoot, drive it, create for others. And I just felt like we didn't have that. And with Caleb in the lineup, and it was just one of those things. And then to see them get off, and you could just see the rhythm of everything in the first possession was much better. We got that rhythm corner three, I think, with Trey Smith or Trey Anderson, one of these two Treys. And that really, I think, was a big thing. Those three stops, and then we scored each possession and forced a timeout. So just kind of one of those things as a guy, you just kind of try and read the room and figure out what we need.
So, Coach, halftime score is 27-26, and clearly that's basically an anything can happen score. But then, in basically a blink of an eye, it's a double-digit lead, and North Dakota's forced to call a timeout. So, what does this tell you about the way the team is able to adjust and come out with fire coming out of the second half?
I think we're gaining confidence. If you look at a lot of these guys, a guy like Trey Smith and Amari Moore played a lot of minutes last year. But it's a different adjustment to a new coach and a new style of play and things like that. There's an acclimation there. Then you've got guys like Trey Anderson and Ibrahima Diallo and Sean Robinson and Tibet, who's not here tonight, but that literally have to shake the rust off. That now they're in a role where this team is really dependent. Our success is depending on their performance. That's a different role. It's a different adjustment. And I just think we're getting more comfortable in that kind of expectation for ourselves and for where we're trying to go. And that's important if we want to grow and build this thing better and better. And so it's been great to get those 4 home wins plus another exhibition one. And we want to, and the crowd tonight I thought was delightful. I really thought it was well attended. I appreciate especially the other teams and student athletes that were there and the fans. We want to build this into a raucous environment, and tonight was fun to see that energy. So I think we're just kind of growing into ourselves and gaining more confidence more than anything.
Hey, Coach. Aikman Fang of 90.5 KSJS. I'm going back to the previous question with the start in the second half. You guys had, I believe, 7 assists in the first 6.5 minutes. Was there anything, like you said, or any adjustments you guys made? Because on paper, it looked like you guys were almost a completely different team.
Yeah. Well, you can't breathe when your head's in the wrong place. So once we got ourselves adjusted, right, and we got our focus and in the right places, good things happen. And they want to the great thing about these guys is they want to share the ball. They want to make extra passes, and they really are. There's not a guy that's stickier that plays selfishly at all, and that's really key to good offensive basketball. And I think that's what you saw in the second half.
Hey, Coach, it's Andrew again. So about 7 minutes ago in the second half, scary moment where Sean Robinson and I think their North Dakota center are battling for a loose ball, and then Sean gets hit in the head. He's laying in pain, but then he's able to get up and get back in the game. So tell me what you saw from your vantage point.
Yeah, well, it was a tough collision, and he fell hard. He bumped his head a little bit even when he fell. That was what scared me. But he had all his faculties, and everything was good. And I think that those moments are really scary for everybody, but I think Sean handled it well, came out, and I think he got a bucket of possession or two later. And so that's always important too when you get laid out like that too. So I was just happy everybody was healthy, and there was no malice in the play, so it was just a tough collision.
I've noticed Tibet Gorner didn't play tonight. Can you provide us any update?
Yeah, he's ill, and it's non-COVID related. And so he's just a sick kid. There's stuff going around, and these college kids.
Coach, MJ Amy got to score his first career points tonight. Tell me what you've seen in his development over the
I'm
season.
just so happy for him. He's a kid that, we've given an opportunity to play Division I basketball. He's grateful for it. He's worked really hard to put himself in a position where he can do that. And I was so happy that, his smile was ear to ear in the locker room after the game, and deservedly so. It was a big moment for him, and I'm happy for him.
The team is definitely getting more and more fun to watch as you are progressing. And you mentioned health last game and the importance of being healthy. How important is it, and what are you guys doing as far as getting depth and getting that, going down the line?
Sebastian Mendoza is the one guy that we're hoping to get back around Christmas, I would say. And that's we do need more bodies. We do need more options. And, we're not going to get Rich Washington. That's finalized, and it's disappointing, but it is what it is. And so, we're just kind of waiting on Ed Lane, too, to see where his status is. I think he's got further to go than Sebastian does, though. And we're just trying to get these guys to stay healthy. So we're actually going to give them a day off tomorrow, which, I grudgingly agreed to. But we've been going pretty hard for 6 straight days, so.
And Coach, North Dakota coach Paul Sather, I read that he was one of your former players earlier. So tell me what you've seen in his coaching career over the years.
Yeah, Paul, it's interesting. I was in his living room when he was 18 years old recruiting him. And I was only 22, but it was quite a time to then coach him. I was the assistant basketball coach at Northern State and worked with him. And then he became an assistant college coach. Then he became a small NEI head coach like I was. And then he took a Division II job like I did. He took the Northern job, and then he became a Division I coach. We have a lot in common that way, and it's kind of cool to watch. And Paul and I are the kind of guys that probably talk once a month, I'd say, and have throughout, since we've known each other. And so it's an important relationship. He and I had dinner last night, and it was fun to spend time with him. I think he's a terrific coach. I mean, he's got his starting center is starting in the Big Ten now because he couldn't stay at UND because he was an international student and his major was online, so he had to transfer. He didn't want to. Then they lost another guard who's starting at a Colonial CAA school. So I mean, he's rebuilding right now. He's already built that thing up, and now they had this adversity, and he'll build it back up again. He's a very smart, heady guy, and he knows what he's doing. So it was a lot of fun to compete against him tonight. So thank you guys very much. I appreciate it. All right, boys.